still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
It's Friday! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Thanks for joining me tonight for the first and potentially last Friday stream of the month. Because, holy hell, man, like, there's a lot of shit going on this month. But, we're here. We're going to work on this bass tonight. Try to get the shaping done, and then hopefully over the weekend I can get to the detailing. So lucky me, I've got a bachelor weekend. The wife and kid are on the coast with the in-laws and everything, so I have the place all to myself. So that means that I can spend all of my time sitting right here working on this base, trying to get this done for SCGMC, which is 1 week from tomorrow. So, and I have to leave 1 week from today. So, yeah, this is going to be tight, and I am not feeling the greatest right now about my chances of getting this thing done. It'll be close, but hopefully with the 48 hours I have this weekend, hopefully I can dedicate about 30 to 35 hours to working on this thing and get a ton of headway done. But that remains to be seen, obviously. So we're gonna get started on this thing. But first, let's do some things first. Whoop whoop. Amuro t-shirt. Go get you one. You can get it on childofmecha.com. Hit up the shop up at the top. That rhymed. Pretty cool. Click that shop button, and you'll be transported to the shop where you can find tees, hats, bags, etc., other things. So yeah, so it's a good thing. Go peruse, and if you're interested, purchase. Christmas is coming up. Great Christmas presents, by the way. Like I said, SCGMC is November 10th. I will be there. We're going to be putting on a scratch building demo for an hour at 10:30. So yeah, so that'll be awesome. Swing by if you have a chance. Sit down and watch if you can. It'll be awesome. It will be awesome. So, and you know what? I'm really psyched about, like, meeting everybody. Like, it's been a few years since I've been to SCGMC. Probably, like, 3, maybe 4 years. So, lots of new people, obviously. Lots of people coming out to this one. And, man, I just cannot wait. I am, like, super psyched about getting there and just meeting everybody, shaking hands, and all that fun stuff. So, if for some reason the Jesta is not done, I will not be bringing it. But if that's the case, then I'll have room to bring the Hummingbird, maybe the Ozymandias. Who knows? So that all obviously is up in the air and all remains to be seen. So we'll see what this weekend brings, and we'll see what next week has in store for us, right? So that's the plan right now. Also, we're going to be using this bad boy again tonight extensively. So if you're interested in finding that file or any of the other tools and stuff that I have working with and on the bench here, hit up the little Amazon link just below or over here on Facebook. I've already sourced out a ton of stuff on there, and you can find it very easily without searching and pecking around for it. There may be even some things on there that you might not even realize that you actually need. So go ahead, take a look at it. Who's buzzing me? My wife. What's my wife want? Crazy storm's about to hit Bel Air. Awesome. So we're in a crazy storm scenario right now. Yeah, fun. So if shit happens to go offline, then you might know why. Might have lost the power, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so hit up the Amazon link, man. There's good tools. There's books for inspiration that you can find over there and stuff like that too. All the gear that we use here to make this stream and also Gunpla Talk possible. So hit that up. There's going to be some useful stuff in there. So we just finished up with the Gunpla Talk fundraiser. Man, that went so well, you guys. We're going to do the selections probably sometime next week. We want to give a little bit more time for some potential prizes to come in. So we want to allow that, allow that shipping to occur, because we want to be able to give away as many things as possible. So wait for that. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I can honestly say I know what the taste of plastic is, because I've created so much damn plastic dust that it's gotten in my mouth and in my nose and in my eyes and ears and everything. And when you find plastic in your shoe the next morning, you know you're a modeler at that point. So, oh look, there's my wife. She's watching on Facebook. Hi babe, I got your text message. So, all right. So, guys, without any further ado, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, because there's some people in the chat. Let's say hi to them. Let's see. Scroll back up. Let's see. Bailey's with us as always, doing the mod thing. Thank you, B. Richie Paul Carlson got all excited, and now I'm watching a countdown. Yeah, sorry about that. And like Bailey says, it gives people a chance to load in and all that. So let's see. Astria Kai, Gizmo Khan Gumpla, they're all with us. Story of all builders for SC GMC. It's going to be close finishing builds. Yes, yes. Woomeister Woobish. What's going on, man? Woobish. Love that. Let's see. Julius Dembski, looking forward to a good time at SCGMC, hoping to learn something and come home with some good swag. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of vendors there. Biggie Pauls is with us, as always, on Friday anyway. What's up, Paulie? I watched the Gundam Kitchen After Dark. Thank you for the shout-out, Paulie. I appreciate that, buddy. It meant a lot, actually. That was cool. Julius Dembski, he says, Tim, can you save me a seat up front at your demonstration at SCGMC? Maybe. Maybe. Who knows if there's even going to be seats. I don't know. I will do my best. Let's put it that way. Whoops. That's the wrong window. Let's see. William Wilms is with us. Ozzy or Jesta. That would be a crazy call. Yeah, I know, right? Gizmo Khan Gunplay. Julius, just show up early for the panel, plus every seat should be a good seat as well. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Bailey, yeah, this is the part of the East Coast is getting some wacky-ass weather. Yeah, evidently. Evidently. So, my wife who is watching, she says howdy over there on Facebook. So if you guys are on Facebook, say hi to her. She's over there, and yeah, she let me know of, I guess, some crazy storms in the area. So I know it was storming before I came down here and everything, but evidently I guess we're supposed to get walloped or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it is. Okay, so let's switch over here. Actually, no, I don't want to switch over because you guys are not going to be able to get the whole kind of size of this thing with the overhead cam. So, let me get this thing out of the way. Put this over here. And then what I'll do is I'll pick you guys up. I'll pick this camera up and I will show you what this base looks like from far away. Alright? So, here we go. I'll be gentle. Here we go. I'm taking you guys for a ride. Alright, so we got to go wide. Look at that. Holy Nikes, that's super wide. Alright, so there's the base. So far, right? All this is beveled. Still need to clean up a lot of this plastic here. This is all just kind of still a ton of flashing and all that. So let's see. Gizmo Jonathan says beefy base there. Yes, this is 1 inch thick. Actually, this is 1.25 inches thick now. And it's 15 by 15 square or octagonal. To the height of the bar here, this is about 17.5 inches. So, yeah, this thing is crazy. And it's all held together with threaded inserts into the MDF and then screwed in from the bottom. And as you can see, this chunky front support here is screwed in on the main support arm right there. So that gets screwed down here. This is just sitting here for right now. And then what I'll have is bars, a couple bars coming off here to hold the parachutes, which will then suspend the Jesta down somewhere around in here. And then what I figure is I'm going to put right here, right in this kind of recessed area, get a picture printed, you know, like a overhead aerial shot looking down at the ground, and then do kind of like a circular motion blur, like it looks like movement is happening straight down and everything. So that I think will work out pretty nicely. But yeah, so as you can see right here, this is still very, you know, rough. This is all flashing and everything, all this stuff. So we got to grind all this crap off tonight. Started already over here on some of these, you know, corners. This is all nice and flush here. Got to trim the underside of this here. This is all still kind of overhanged out and everything. So we'll be doing a lot of that tonight. Let's put you back up here. Whoa. Whoa. Hey now. There we go. Safe and sound. I didn't drop you. So, there we go. You guys. This thing is beefy. Like Jonathan GizmoCon Gunpla said before, beefy base. This is beefy. This is the biggest base that I have ever built. Out of all my builds, this is the biggest one. And also, too, I forgot to mention, we're going to, I don't know, I'm going to, see all this goo right here? Whoop, right there? That, super glue and baby powder. And oh man, that has come in handy with this. So we might get to that. We might get to grinding that off tonight. I don't know, but we're gonna start here with the base, work our way into it. So let's get to work. Let's go to camera. Now it actually now you can actually see. Because I mean, look at this. This base is bigger than the widest. I mean, look at that. You can't. That just. I don't know. Anyway. So let's get to grinding, shall we? That base has some girth, Ashtray Kai says. Yes. Yes, it does. And, I'm not going to say anything else to that. I was going to make a joke, but that just seems, no. It seems cheap. Alright, so, with that being said, so what I like to do first with this to clean up these edges and everything, these are Zurons. These are just flush cut. These aren't even like nippers. And these are kind of like my heavy duty kind of plastic nippers. These are what I cut, you know, thick sprue and, you know, thicker pieces of plastic strip, plastic rod, things of that nature. I use these to trim off as much as I possibly can beforehand. And since all of these pieces, all these smaller, listen to my English, all of these smaller pieces are just held on by super glue. I've used, I want to say I've used about 6 of these since last time we were together. So yeah, there's a lot of super glue here, but man, it holds like crazy. But I just glued these, you know, kind of beveled pieces on here just recently, so the glue is still a little on the weak side. So best thing to do is to hold the piece down while you're trimming that, so as not to apply any pressure to make that plastic potentially pop off the piece, because then you just have to glue the damn thing back down, and that's just hassle. So trim that off there, and we'll start to work our way around. And obviously this is what it takes to build a base like this. You know, the big portions, you know, the big, like right in here, this big recessed section, and then, you know, a lot of the tops and the sides and things like that, those are held on with contact adhesive, spray-on 3M high strength 90 contact adhesive. It's basically what they use to adhere laminate to countertops. So that's all held on with that. But these smaller pieces, these, you know, like these strips right here on the bevels, some on the sides and other places, it just doesn't make much sense to use contact adhesive on those, because it's just a waste of time. Because you have to spray both pieces, give each one about 15 minutes to start to become tacky, and then you know, adhere the two together, and then still you have to wait until that contact adhesive is kind of fully cured, which is another, you know, hour or two at least, before you can really start to kind of work with it. The beauty part about working with super glue is that it cures super quick too. Now, when you're using it in abundance like I am, where you're putting a considerable amount of super glue on pieces, it's going to have a longer cure time. But still, 10-15 minutes and you're ready to work it, you know, which is obviously a win in the time-saving column for super glue as opposed to contact adhesive. And once this stuff, once the super glue does fully cure, man, it's just as strong, but obviously not nearly as economical. So it's one of those kind of pro and con types of situations. All right. Almost done with the top trimming here. There we go. Let's get this little flash right here. Throw that away. All right, so now we've got the whole top trimmed up, right? So now we can spin this back around here to the front where the split is. Like I said, if you guys have seen before, and you can hardly see it right now, but there's a seam line right down here. You can see a little hint of it, especially right in here. But that's where this base separates. And that's how I'm going to get it into a carry-on. So, because this thing is 15 inches square, it's not going to fit into a carry-on piece of luggage. It's just not. So I have to cut it down, have to split it to get it to fit into carry-on bag. So it is what it is. Things that we have to think about. All right, so bastard file. Start to go to town. Now, initially, we want to just start to wear down this flash here and get it nice and flat. And then, once it's nice and flat and almost flush with the surface, that's when we'll change kind of what we focus on and change the technique. Because right now, I'm just being kind of super aggressive with the file, but we're getting close to the surface. So now we change up the technique a little bit and use the second hand on top of the file to keep this nice and flat so we don't round over any of the bevels or anything like that. And I'm paying particular attention here to the split, the seam line, especially up front here, because we need this to be super, super even. So we just file that nice and even with one another, and then it'll be hard to tell where that seam is. There's going to be more added to this to hide that seam line, but right now you want to get it as clean as possible. Okay, that looks pretty good. Little gap right here, and you guys can't even see it on the camera, but I'll just fill that in with super glue and then we'll be good to go. But we'll do that later, maybe even off stream we'll do that. And man, just trying to get this thing on camera is difficult in and of itself, right? So you want to pay particular attention to where parts meet, especially like in the corners here, because there's a piece here that goes on top, there's a piece here that goes on top, there's a bevel piece here, bevel piece there, and then obviously the two front pieces, and then the side pieces, the inner side pieces along the inside of the recess here, right? So you want to pay particular attention and make sure that this area right here where all of those plates meet, that's where you need to really have you know, a nice even joint amongst those plates. So we really want to pay special attention to that area right here. And that is super, super even. That's nice. All right, so front side is done. We're going to spin this around here now to the left side or right side, or however you want to look at it. Start to even this up a bit. And once we get done with this, I'll check in with you guys in the chat. So I know I saw some people coming in. So, yeah, this has been kind of my world here for the past week or so, you guys. Remember to clean your file out. Ooh, see that little stubborn bit right there? We need something a little bit stronger than an old toothbrush. So, old hobby knife, just run it right into the teeth of this thing, and that stuff pretty much just pops right off. If worst came to worst, we could have gotten out the wire brush, but thankfully we didn't need to do that. All right. Tell you what, if you're watching this, you can get a crazy arm workout. I mean, look at that. Forearm action. Look at that. Ooh. But, well, that forearm ain't bad, right? That's not bad. Very tedious, by the way. This whole endeavor is very, very tedious. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. All right. Vacuum. We need the vacuum. Alright, here we go. Hold your ears. there we go. Back to it. All right. These long courses of plastic, man, these are just the worst. Because they take forever. Alright, but it's getting even now. Alright, let's change up the technique. Let's go back and finish this sucker off. Okay, that is even, Steven. Look at that. All that dust. Ah, fun. All right. Woo! Let's check in with the chat, shall we? All right, so let's see. Let's scroll back up. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Let's see. Andrew Smith, aka RF Aurora, which I didn't know until just recently, is over there on Facebook. He says, I'll watch this later. Home internet isn't working right now, and I'm a little sick. Oh, man. Feel better, Andrew. Feel better, buddy. Let's see. Anthony is with us. He says, the champ is here. Good evening, my people. Good evening, Anthony. Thank you for watching, buddy. Astria Kai, that base has some girth. I think we saw that before. Looks like a hanging meat rack. Yeah, kind of, right? William Wilms, do you have a picture decided that you will use to simulate the ground coming up? I haven't yet. I'm thinking maybe a city. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm not sure. Bailey says more like a futuristic desk lamp from the 80s. I know, right? Julius Demsky. Very nicely made. Hope to see the whole thing in person. I know, right? I hope so, too. Anthony says, how much does it weigh, Tim? Remember the flight limitations. Yeah, weight, it's sizable. But, you know, the main thing is that it will fit nicely in the carry-on. So I'm not overly worried about it. So I've carried much, much, much heavier camera equipment on with me, you know, that's heavier than this thing. So I'm not really worried about weight. It's just packing it into the actual carry-on bag. That's going to be the challenge. It always is, though, right? What are you going to do? Dean is with us. He says, hi, everybody. What's up, Dean? Let's see. Kenneth Sim is with us as well. Edwin RSA, good morning. Welcome, guys. Kenneth Sim, that's one huge base. That's what she said. Bailey says, beefy, as Gizmo Kongumbla said. Beefy. Jay Lynch is with us. What's going on, Jay Lynch? Let's see. Kenneth Sim, Tim could use a sanding block. Like that? Look at this. It's so plastic ridden it almost blends into the base, but there's the backside. So yeah, no, trust me. This will come in handy in just a little bit when we go to smooth all this out from the I'm not touching my face with plastic ridden gloves, so. And the good thing about wearing a white shirt is that you don't have to worry about white plastic dust because you're never going to see it. So you could just go like this and be perfectly fine. Let's see. Good deal, good deal. let's get back to here. Let's see. Jay Lynch, yeah, I've seen some SD Cross high grade with the unicorn. Really good custom. I'll wait for our whip of it. Nice. Space Rat 53, working on Master Grade Gundam EZ8, looking to do some weathering with that. Oh, my nose itches now. Damn it. Any advice or tips for weathering? Damn, Space Rat. You know, I'll be the first one to say that I am not a weathering expert. But what you may want to check out are like Gundam Taz on Rob Ponte on Instagram. Really good at weathering. Our good friend Win I'm Ong, I think Win's watching. Looks like he was watching earlier. The Pain Pusher on Facebook, very good as well. Let's see, who else? Man, just a bunch of other people weathering. You know, the main thing with weathering is know your subject, right? Because if you're trying to weather a, you know, 20-meter robot, you gotta kind of think of what environment that robot is going to be in. If it's in the city, it's going to have different weathering than, say, a mech in a jungle or in the desert or in, you know, an Arctic area or something, right? So there's going to be different weathering. They're not all the same. They're going to be weathered differently, and especially the layout of the weathering on the mech itself, right? And also, too, if it's space-based, you know, you can imagine if the mech is space-based, then there will be more overall weathering, you know, all over the body and everything, because you know, in space, everything comes at you in every other direction. It's not, you know, gravitational like when you're on the Earth. So, you know, you would imagine that the feet, the lower legs, maybe the knees would get a lot more weathering or wear to them than, say, your shoulders or chest or head. So keep those things in mind. That would be the best thing. Terry T, what's your approach on weathering the Aussie? I didn't know what the hell I was doing. That was my approach. I was just kind of winging it, honestly. Just kind of edge chipping and stuff like that. And I wanted a beat to hell look out of the Aussie. Looking back at it now, I think I went a little heavy-handed on it. But yeah, I had no clue what I was doing, man. I was just going for broke and trying something new, thinking outside the box. So that was my approach. But hey, Terry, thanks for watching, buddy. Appreciate that. So yeah, Space Rat, man, I would check out. Oh yeah, Bailey says Model Making Guru. That's another good one. Completely forgot about him. You know, there's a bunch of people on there, on especially YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those guys that do weathering so much more, you know, at a higher level than what I do. Check them out. So I'm just unfortunately not the expert in that particular category. So, but good question though. Kenneth Sim, off topic. Anyone saw the Indonesia GBWC GPO1 full burn with that huge GPO1? It's actually a GPO2 head. Yes. Who made that? I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. Shoot, I forget. He goes by Underdog. That's his page, Underdog. But man, awesome build. And man, he just used so many parts from different things, and yeah, just crazy good build, that Indonesian version, Indonesian entry, I should say. So yeah, hope he does well. Hope he does very well. It was very impressive. But it is a GPO2 head that he scratch built, and this was big too, right? So if you guys think back to the Hong Kong entry, from Manson Ing, he did the Shars version, I guess, of that. He did like a perfect grade Zaku, and then he scratch built a Shars head out of plastic and stuff like that, kind of, and the Zaku was, you know, kind of emerging from that. Kind of the same type of feel, you know, the normal size, about 1/100 or so scale mech, and then this massive head, you know, around it. So it was very interesting. I love the whip, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, Kenneth Sim, it is awesome, and I highly suggest if you guys have not seen it, man, go check it out. You'll find links to it everywhere. Excuse me, on Facebook, that's for sure. So, excuse me. GizmoCon Gunpla, if you're looking for good references, materials, there's also the single model books, especially the Sazabi edition. Also, there's the MiG Mecha weathering book as well. Yeah, those are all good. The one gripe I have about MiG's weathering on mechs is that it's a little heavy-handed, and it's not kind of realistically spaced. So that's one thing that you want to be careful of. But, you know, I understand in those tutorials, they're more or less kind of demonstrational purposes, right? So it is what it is. So we understand that. Let's see. Let's check in with Facebook. Kira Yet. What's going on, Kira? He says, hello, I am back to ask some questions. Cool. We like questions. After I applied the panel lining on parts, I use the cotton buds, or Q-tips, cotton swabs, whatever you want to call them, with X20 to clean the extra paint. Is the cotton swabs can only clean a few parts, like 4 to 5 parts, because the bud will become black easily and continue using the bottom. Will also make the surface black too. Yes, a cotton bud can clean how many parts? Yeah, that's about average, because you want to continually swap out your cotton bud, cotton swab, Q-tips here in the U.S. I don't know why, but yeah, you want to continually swap those out and throw the old ones away, simply because they will kind of gather that excess panel lining fluid, and you don't want to make that a mess on other parts that you are going to clean down the line. So yeah, so I would say maybe 2-3 parts just to be on the safe side. Throw that cotton bud out, use a new one, or, which is my, let's see, where are they? They're up there. I'm not gonna look for them right now. So, Kira, if you have like a department store that sells makeup and stuff like that in it, ladies' makeup, obviously, there are little triangular sponge applicators, and they're super cheap too. That's what I actually use. They're little foam sponges, and they come in really, really handy because they, you know, have a very flat edge. They are foam, so they don't leave lint from, you know, the cotton buds and stuff like that. So I actually prefer those over cotton swabs, cotton buds, Q-tips, whatever you want to call them. And you can trim those off and then basically start with a new patch of that sponge. Really, really good, very inexpensive, and they go a super long way if you kind of trim the nasty parts off. So yeah, I would highly suggest looking for those because those work wonders. So, great question, Kira. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you guys don't know, Kira is our residential boy genius. He is studying to become like the world's mad scientist, like super, super high degrees and stuff like that. So, Kira, I hope you're doing well with that, buddy. Bailey says, the Rinaldi Press Sazabi book is pretty good. I actually do recommend the ammo weathering books. Besides the Mecha books, there's the weathering magazine they publish. Lots of great guides in them. Yeah. Technique-wise, superb. Superb. Oh, you know what? Another guy that I completely forgot about that does great weathering and wear and stuff like that. Luca Sampriello, or otherwise known as Calamity. He's the designer of the Briegel and all those, the Briegel, the Spiegel, the Schmiegel, Meagle, all of those. And man, he's really good at weathering and stuff too. So look him up. He's got some videos that he's done, but look up, he's got books, he's got, you know, Facebook page, Instagram, all that good stuff. Look him up because he's very, very good as well. So, good call there, as always, B. Appreciate that. All right, back to grinding this damn plastic here. camera? Yeah, there we go. Now we're on camera. Excuse me. Okay, you guys, that looks pretty good there. So, the entire top is done, except for this little guy right here. And this is just kind of part of this side of the base. This right here, the file over, this is one side of the base, this is the other side. So, in an effort to not glue the whole thing down in one piece, I separated it out, obviously. And now I gotta be just kind of careful so I don't pop this little guy off of here, because that could be problematic. So we need to be extra careful with this little guy. We are getting him filed down here. There we go. That's nice and even. All right, so like Kenneth Sim said earlier, we need a sanding block. I totally agree with Kenneth that we do need a sanding block. So that's where the sanding block comes into play now. So what we're going to do is we're going to sand the whole thing just real quick, just to even it out, get rid of any you know, file marks and things like that. This is just like, I think this is what, 320 stuck on here. Who knows? I think it's like 320 grit, maybe 400, but it's pretty coarse for the most part, and we're just basically trying to get a nice smooth even finish. This is not final sanding at all. This is just basically to get the file marks out and to get the surface nice and even. So this is just a piece of MDF. This is what this base is made out of, actually. And this is like 2 inches wide by about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 inches long. This is 3/4 inch MDF. And, you know, just cut this scrap piece off, you know, with miter saw, table saw, whatever, hand saw, and just wrap some, you know, like you can see, just wrap some sandpaper around it, and you got yourself a nice, stable, and flat and even sanding block, because MDF is extremely, extremely stable, and it's usually extremely flat just because of the way that it's made. So, that makes it a great material to use for sanding blocks like this. And I don't use this particular sanding block all that much, except for bases like you can see here. But when you're making a base this size, this sanding block comes in super handy. Try to keep it on camera here for you guys. Oh, it's like I'm getting a workout here, you guys. This is crazy. Almost worked our way around this thing. All right, that does it. God. Oh, look, everybody. Andrew Young's with us. And he might actually be drunk. Whew. Ay. All right, vacuum time. So there we go. Whew. Warm in here. All right, so let's scroll back up. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Anthony says there's also a Chinese book with Easy 8 on the cover for weathering. Yeah, I think they sell that on USA Gundam Store. Like you just said in the comment just after the one I read. Cool. Hey, great mind. Boop, boop. There we go. All right. Eric45, what's going on, man? Ooh, caught the stream. Yeah, no, I saw your comment earlier, Eric. I hope I'm saying that right. Why didn't you get the notification for the streams? Man, I don't know. I wish I did. Honestly, I wish I knew. But it is YouTube that we're talking about, so anything's possible, right? Let's see. Richie Paul Carlson utilized dollar stores to purchase cotton swabs, makeup brushes, cotton pads, inexpensive Gunpla cleaning supplies. I agree. The cheaper the better. Sometimes. But for that stuff, it's most of the time. He says, I repeat, do not use your girlfriend's makeup stuff. Trust me. It's a good call. That's a good call. Yep. Oh, look, Andrew Young. Yep. He's probably drunk. And Bailey, if Andrew becomes unentertaining, you have my permission to mute him or kick him or whatever. So let's put that out there. Biggie Paul says, success! New technique, pouring 10 milliliter Tamiya pots in 15 millimeter dropper bottle, mixing 5 milliliter of Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. Booyah! DIY Mr. Tamiya airbrush ready paints, butter smooth coats. Yeah, didn't I told you that you could mix leveling thinner with Tamiya. Told you that a while back. It's not new. Bailey says, in those makeup sponges Tim described, the sponge is basically an eraser for enamel panel line wash. If you're going for a clean, fresh from the factory build, the sponge will work best. Yes. Edwin RSA, are there anyone else here from Indonesia and going to the Indonesian GBWC? I don't know. I would love to see pictures of that GPO1. Let's see. Kenneth Sim, Tim's right arm will be bigger than his left after this is all done. Nice. Oh, man. Andrew Young, but no nut northster. Whatever. Anthony, all right, guys. Gotta meet the little lady for drinks. Nice. Always messing with me. My me time. Gotcha. Well, have fun, buddy. He says, have a great weekend. Anthony, you too, man. You too. Biggie Paul's the dropper bottle is new. Oh, didn't catch that part. Sorry. Eric45. I'm Indonesian, but too poor for that. Too bad. That would have been cool to see. That would have been really cool to see. All right, let's get back to it. So we've got all the top flashing done, grinded, finito, sanded, everything like that. There's a couple spots here and there that I'll have to fill with super glue, but that'll be for later. You guys have seen that. Now we have to take care of the sides and the underside of a lot of these parts, especially on the long surfaces, like on the sides here, on the back, and then a little bit on the front too. So to do that, I'm going to switch to one camera because what I'm about to do you won't be able to see on the second camera here. Why the hell do I have a black screen underneath the ads? It's probably because I took out the Gunpla Talk ad. That's probably why. I'll have to fix that. I'll have to fix that. Let's see. I'm not going to fix it now, though. All right, back to camera one. Bloop. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this. Look at this. Look how big this thing is, you guys. Holy shit. Like, it's a stop sign. It's literally a stop sign. Anyway. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. Rundus J22, he is with us. Welcome, Rundus. Thank you for watching, buddy. I finally finished my master grade New Verka. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Let's see. Edwin RSA, I am going there tomorrow for the winner's announcement. It was a week faster. Must be something related to Majin's schedule. We'll take pics. Sweet. Edwin, if you take pics, send them to me. I will post them. Awesome. Or I'll share what you post or whatever. Just send me the pics because I want to see. Take a lot of them too. Lots, like hundreds. I want to see them. It'd be awesome. Good to have insiders. All right. So let's angle this down so you can actually see what exactly I'm doing here. All right. So basically, I've got this thing sitting on my lap here. And since this is so big, it's really going to be impossible to, even if I laid it on upside down, it would be impossible to get this underside flashing here. So what we do, just kind of go at it from the sides here and make short work of this stuff. And we're not trying to get it flush right now. We're not really trying to remove as much as possible. We're just trying to remove a good amount so it will make grinding and filing a little bit easier. Because while I do like the look of a muscular forearm, I don't want to look like Popeye. Some of you may not even be old enough to remember what Popeye is or who Popeye is. If you do, you had a good childhood. But who knows if Popeye even like ran in other countries outside of like the U.S. and stuff, right? Hard to say. Hard to say. So if you were in another country and you didn't have Popeye, you get a pass. Bailey. Then don't eat spinach. Dude, I will not touch spinach with a 10-foot pole, man. Blech. Spinach is... I've always disliked spinach. Ugh. Is there really anybody that actually likes spinach? I mean, I don't know anybody. Literally, I don't know anybody that likes spinach. Like on its own, I mean, right? Like you can, you know, people can stand like what is it? Like spinach dip and stuff like that, right? That's like not bad. But seriously, Bailey, you like spinach? I'm gonna start calling you Popeye then, dude. Holy shit. Biggie Paws loves spinach. I honestly, Paulie, never would have called that. I never would have, in a million years, never would have called that. Baby spinach salads, Bailey says. All right, no. That's one issue that you have with clipping the plastic. You'll get the stray artifact jettisoning into your mouth. Oh, God. Good times with plastic here, guys. Good times with plastic. All right. Almost done. Eric 45, I can handle broccoli and other vegetables, but spinach on its own? Nah. Dude, I actually like broccoli. Broccoli for me is really good. Like I had in 2016 when I went to Japan, we went to lunch at this place right there at Diver City Mall, and it was just this little steak place, and it was almost kind of like a 50s US diner kind of motif, kind of feel, and man, they had this broccoli that was like drenched in like soy sauce or teriyaki or something like that. Oh, it was out of this world. I'm telling you guys, like I will grub on like broccoli and like with a little cheese on it and everything. Good stuff right there. But man, this stuff, it was like kind of broiled and, like I said, drenched in like teriyaki or soy sauce or something like that. Oh, it was insanely good. All right, so we got all the trimming done. Okay, so that's good there. Let's get a light. There we go. A little bit more light on the subject here. So now, it's still going to be really, really hard to grind and file this down on the bench. So we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing right here in the lap. We're going to be doing lap grinding. Somebody give me $1. All right. So I've kind of got this wedged here between my chest and the edge of the bench here to make it nice and solid, right? And I've kind of got it resting on the chair here, kind of between my legs, right? Lap grinding. There you go. Run this J22. You know what I'm talking about. Don't be coy. But this is the easiest way right here to get these kind of underside edges, because, like I said, you're not going to be able to get it at a great angle sitting on the table. You're just not. So you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And realistically, what I should be doing is turning this thing around and going from the outer edge in like this. Probably making it a lot easier on myself. Yep. Alright. It's working pretty good. This file comes out of this handle very easily. So if you see me doing that, it's just basically pushing it back in. And obviously I know I'm shaking the camera, so I apologize about that. Don't eat spinach too much, but just found a noodles based on spinach. Edwin RSA said that. Interesting. Huh. Let's... Oh, I can't reach the damn mouse. Shit. Yeah, very, very shaky. I know, Arik. Sorry about that, buddy. Because the monitor is connected to the table, and the camera is connected to the monitor. And when I shake this, when I do this, it shakes the table, which shakes the monitor, which in turn shakes the camera. My apologies. But you guys kind of get the idea of what's going on here. So hopefully we can get through this rather quickly. What time is it? 11:01. Wow, we've been at this for an hour, you guys. Kind of goes to show you how long base fabrication of this sort actually takes. It takes quite a while. And this I don't think will even be nearly as detailed as the Hummingbird base either. I think I spent a few weeks on the Hummingbird base at least. Now, mind you, the Hummingbird base was a lot smaller. I think it's 12 by 12 where this is 15 by 15, and it has a support arm wrapped, yeah, Amaro. Eric, you didn't notice? Amaro, yeah. I got these in my store, man. Hit up childofmecha.com. You can get one too. $10 flat rate shipping worldwide. $5 in the US and Canada. For your whole order too, I might add. Take advantage of it. But, like I said, this will not be nearly as detailed as the Hummingbird base. I'm probably going to go fairly simple on this, not necessarily due to time constraints, but just based off of what I want it to look like. I don't want it to necessarily detract from the Jesta itself. I want it to complement the Jesta. So, that edge looks really good. Now we just have to get these corner pieces here, and we'll worry about that in a little bit. Let's get the front done here. Oh no, this is the side. That was the front. Julius Dembski. Hey man, it is what it is, dude. Is Andrew still in here? Andrew Younger, did we kick him out? Or did he, maybe he just passed out? I don't know. Bailey, do you know? And Julius Dembski, man, we're all mature adults here. We have fun with it. Well, if Andrew's in here, we're not all mature adults. All right. That is getting there. That is getting there. But man, look at all the plastic in there. Whew. Dust. You guys have no clue how much dust this makes. It's insane. All the filing and sanding and grinding and everything. Ugh, it's Dust City over here. Like, I'm gonna have to do like a full cleaning of this studio. Oh, he didn't do anything, Bailey? Okay, yeah, kid probably passed out then. He seemed shellacked when he came in for those few comments, so it wouldn't surprise me if he passed out. But wouldn't have surprised me if we kicked his ass out either. Because he can get annoying when he's drunk, obviously. Alright, so that surface there, look at, ugh, all good. Ugh. On Mecha. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Over there on Facebook. That's a big base. Mind telling what kit you're going to put? Yes. Yes. So, that's one. That's the bottom of the base, right? Let me do this here. Ugh. And what's going on it is the Jesta that we've been working on. This guy right here. So he's going to be suspended from a support arm. So that's what's going on here. And come on, Jesta, stand up. You little son of a bitch. Stay. So we're just working on the base right now to get this thing suspended. Alright, so all those sides are done. Front is done for the most part. I think we need to get a little bit more right here. Let's go there. Alright, so now we got two more undersides that we have to file down, this big long side and then one of the shorter sides here. And then we just kind of tackle the little end points and stuff like that to the bevels. And then this thing is pretty much, man, it's pretty much ready for detailing, you guys. Like, I'm psyched about that. Okay, let's scoot in a little bit here. So we can wedge this thing between myself and the table. Alright, there we go. Guess those storms didn't really pan out, did they? Because I haven't heard anything here since we started. So sometimes I know we like to get into like movie talk and stuff like that. Tiny Funnels, how did I live without you? Biggie Pauls, you're funny, man. So I know sometimes, like I said, we get into like movie talk and TV talk and stuff like that. And man, I'm telling you what, having the computer in the studio right now is such an amazing thing, because I don't know how I've done it in the past without having a computer or anything in here, because I can stream movies, I can stream, you know, the different shows from the networks and stuff like that. It's great. So I watched that new-ish movie, Mile 22, with Mark Wahlberg, right? What a good movie! Holy moly! I don't know if you guys have seen it, but man, that was a great flick. John Malkovich is in it. Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead is in it. Ronda Rousey, MMA fighter, she was in it. Man, really, really good movie, you guys. Really good movie. Now, I don't want to necessarily spoil it for you guys, but basically it's about this kind of covert military group, not necessarily special forces, but more like almost like counterterrorism group, right? And basically the story is they have to get an asset, a person out of harm's way, and that's basically it. You know, it's 22 miles from where they started to the plane that they have to pick up. So that's hence the name, Mile 22, right? Bailey says, where is it available? Good question. Places. I know it's available like on demand and stuff like that, but I have other methods of watching and getting movies. So, yeah, 2 thumbs up. 2 big thumbs up, man. That was a good-ass movie, I'm telling you what. Lots of good action, lots of great fight scenes in it. It was just, yeah, really good. Bailey theaters near you. Nice. And you know what's funny? For those of you guys that live out in the west, on the west coast of the U.S., for those of you that don't know, my last name is Harkins, and I don't get out to the west coast that much, but when I do, or actually I should say like the first time I came out west, I found that Harkins movie theaters. I'm like, I didn't know my family had a movie theater chain. It's kind of crazy. It's very surreal. Come to find out, it's actually a pretty big movie theater chain out there. I don't know anybody that owns it, you know, if they're even related to me or not, but I thought it was funny. Alright. This thing... it's about done. Ugh. Nice. Alright, so all of the underside flash is now filed, flattened, ground down. So now what we have to do, and we're going to switch back to second camera here, and I'm going to tilt this camera up like that, a little bit more maybe, just like that. Now we'll go back to camera 2. So all these underside edges are now flush and nice and neat. So now what we've got to do is we got to go back and get these little kind of overhanging points right here. And these are a little bit tricky because if you try to grind them, it just doesn't work out initially very well. So what I have to do is actually take my chisel blade from Olfa and just kind of start trimming these down to the bevel as closely as possible. It doesn't have to necessarily be flush with the bevel, but the closer it is, the better. Because then we can just kind of come in and flush them up with the file and basically call it a day. Okay. Getting pretty close to where we can just trim those back here. Let's get these last two on this corner here. And the biggest thing, keep your hands out of the way, because if this slips and goes into your hand, that's going to be pain. Lots and lots of pain. So keep your hand and your extremities kind of out of the way of the blade. Safety is paramount, kids. All right. Okay, last little bit right here. All right, so now what we can do is So we can take our file and very, very carefully start to grind these corners down a little bit. You need to be super careful with this and let the file just kind of ride on that beveled surface, and then that will help that corner grind down and match up. Okay, looks good there. This is kind of precision work right here, you guys. This is really where it pays off to be kind of slow and steady. Really continue to check every few seconds or so. Because if you mess this up, it will definitely show. Those angles will be weird, and you'll be able to see it. Nice. All right. Man, a little warm in here, you guys. All right. Okay, cool. Ricky Paul Carlson. Sorry, I see how it's spelled, and I think Ricci, like, like Christina Ricci, or like a hockey player, Mike Ricci, stuff like that. Sorry about that. I've seen it. I've heard it many ways. My bad. Says, but parents wanted to cause me issues in life with spelling letters. Yeah, parents can be weird like that. My sister's name, one of my sister's names is Brittany, and my mom spelled it Brittney, which is like the impossible spelling. Because usually it's Brittany, but yeah. So I know how that feeling is, man. Alright, that corner looks good. Just gotta shore this up, this angle here. Right there. One last little nub, you guys, and then this thing is ready for a little spot filling, and it's ready for details. Yes, details. Alright, handle's got to come off for this one. This is getting down to nitty gritty right here, everybody. And like that. Oh, one last little thing right here. Just trimming the flash off this little bevel piece here, just to even it up with the rest of the parts here. Woo! You guys, this base is finally and completely wrapped in plastic. Whew. Man, oh man. The bevels are nice, sanded, flush. Man, looking good. Looking good. You know, obviously there's going to be some filling, there's going to be some spot sanding and everything like that, but for the most part, done. Done, done, and done. Let's check in with the chat. Let's go back to one camera. Let's talk, shall we? Let's go back up here and see what's what. Okay, so Biggie Paul's Tim Firestick bootlegs are still bootlegs. No, I don't have a Fire Stick, actually. Torrents. Runus J22, do you know if plastic or if bread clips will bond to Gunpla plastic? Not sure if it's polystyrene, but I know people use them for scratch building and want to utilize some for a build. Yes, they are polystyrene. Same plastic as Gundam models, so they will absolutely work. Yep, Bailey chimed in. Good. Thank you, Bailey. Appreciate that, buddy. Let's see. Julius Dembski at Biggie Paul's. Is there a fat burger near the event? Oh. No. I think Julius is talking about SCGMC. Biggie lives in Philly, so yeah. Let's see. Edwin RSA didn't get to watch Mile 22 here. If you like it, try watch The Night Comes For Us. I've heard good things about that. I do want to watch that. That sounds like a winner. Kenneth Sim, how's Tim going to paint that huge base? Airbrush, can spray? Great question. So it's going to be primed with a rattle can. I've got a couple cans of... Damn light out of my face. I got a couple cans of Mr. Surfacer 1000. So I'm going to use that to spray to prime the, the parts and everything. But with the additional details that I'll be adding over the weekend and stuff like that, I am going to be airbrushing this bad boy. So for base coats and stuff like that, I might actually need to break out my actual spray gun. I have an El Cheapo spray gun from Harbor Freight here in the States. It's kind of like a discount hardware store. So I might break that out and use that to base coat this thing. But yeah, for the most part, it's going to be airbrush. So it's going to take a little while. And man, I don't know how I'm going to hold this big ass thing in the spray booth. Thankfully, the spray booth's big enough to handle it, but still, it's going to be crazy. So... Buddy Kurniowan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Biggie Paul's, is Paramount the company you stole that movie from? I don't know. Might have been. Astria Kai, yo, I found some whips of the GPO y'all were talking about. Yeah, it's insane. Ricky Paul Carlson. Yep, no problem, my friend. Thank you, buddy. Bailey Timothy. Nice. Dean, gotta go now, guys. Bye. Dean, thank you for watching, buddy, if you're watching this after the fact. All right. So, you guys, let's spot fill this little guy real quick, just from what I can go around and see. Just kind of wiping away all the dust and junk from this thing. For the most part, this looks really good. All of the seams seem to be filled in really nicely with the super glue, and that's why I love using super glue for this type of stuff. Let's get over to camera 2. Excuse me. Yeah, the super glue makes such a great filler and everything for just little minor defects and things like that. Like right here, there's just a little hint of an area right here, and you just put just a little bead of super glue right along that seam, and that dust in there will actually help that super glue fill in that indentation, and it'll just look amazing once it's nicely filled and everything. Just work our way around this base here. Just spot filling these little errors in the filling. Now I've already, you might not be able to see, but the seams that go along these corners here, I've already filled those with super glue, so those are good to go completely. Those are 100% solid. But for the most part, you guys, this looks really good. Just those two little spots there I saw. Got a little flashing right here we need to file down for that from that little overhang piece, make it flush with the rest. But that looks good now. Sweet. That's all the filling I had to do. That's awesome. So let's get the support arm in here, because we'll work on that next. Get the base big ass thing transitioned out of here. Off to the side here. Oh, here we go. Ricky Paul Carlson, are the canopies already vacuumed up? I think you mean parachutes? No, they are not, actually. I am still working on shaping the parachutes and everything, but vacuum forming doesn't take really all that long at all, so I'm not overly worried about, vacuum forming them. But, no, they are still a work in progress. So we're going to take off this top support arm from the back main support arm here. Okay. We're going to grind down this super glue and baby powder concoction here. So this bit of goo here, right there, focus. So this, stuff here, this is all a mixture of super glue and baby powder. So just, your focus, your Johnson's baby powder, and it's just, basically cornstarch. Very fine cornstarch. So you mix the two together, and man, they just make this kind of really great filler. I had to fill in these sides here too, where I beveled the pieces all around. I couldn't get it past not beveling these pieces. So I put these through my router and just had to kind of come in and backfill these pieces. So that's what we had to do here on this side, and now I just have to trim it down and flush it up with the other support arm. So we're just gonna kind of trim the kind of excess crap off of this. Get as much of that stuff off there as possible, and then we're gonna flush this up on the bottom here, and then we'll attach it back to the main support arm, and then we'll flush it up. Let's get back zoomed out a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing here. Here we go. Space Rat, he says, looking at the Indonesian GBWC entries, any advice for first-timers to GBWC? I see only being able to enter online here in the US. I want my custom master grade GM Kai that is in planning to be my GBWC debut. You know what? For a rookie in the GBWC, man, the best advice I can give you is just have some fun, man. Just have some fun, right? Yes, Johnson's baby powder, not my Johnson's baby powder. Johnson's baby powder. Get your mind out of the gutter, Paulie. Goon. Alright. That looks to be flat enough. Good. Yep, that now is flat enough for us to reattach the main support arm. But yeah, Space Rat, you know, the biggest thing, have fun, number one. You know, keep your expectations realistic, you know, because it's a tough competition, and if you're entering online, make sure you take good pictures, because that's going to be, especially for online entries, that's going to be a big factor, is the quality of your pictures, because the more detail and the better presented your piece is, the more consideration it's going to get from the judges at that point. So what I would say, number one, have fun. Take good pictures. You know, beyond that, in terms of actual modeling, man, focus on basics. The basics will definitely assist you in, you know, in your modeling career. As long as you can master the basics, that's important, right? Gunzo Gunpla over there on Twitch, he says, good morning. Gunzo, what's up, buddy? Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. We're just working on this base here for the Jesta. Trying to get this thing lined up here. Okay. And I just got this. This is a solid 1-2-3 block. Solid piece of steel. This thing is probably a good, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 pounds. And just completely flat, right angles everywhere. You guys have probably seen my other 1-2-3 block with the holes. These are great. But man, I just got these solid ones. Even better. I love these things. Love them. Because they help you keep your your angles nice and straight, your surfaces nice and straight. You can wrap a piece of sandpaper around that thing and have a completely dead flat sanding surface. So those are great. And they're inexpensive too. I think the set of these, because you get two, 15 bucks for two precision ground pieces of steel, right? And they just slide like butter just because they're so precision ground. Super nice. Super, super nice. Get them out of the way though, because they are a little heavy and they take up some space. All right, let's get this thing back in registration here. Okay, that I think is about where we need it. All right, let the grinding commence. 11:38. We got 20 minutes to grind this sucker down. Let's get after it. Gunsa Gunplo. Jesta is Besta, my good man. You're doing it proud. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I do love a good Jesta. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind with sanding, filing, grinding this super glue and baby powder, this powder is nasty, you guys. Not only is the cornstarch very, very fine, but the super glue powder is pretty gross. Definitely don't get it in your mouth. It's not going to reactivate or anything and cause your tongue to glue to the top of your mouth or anything like that, so I wouldn't worry about it. But it doesn't have a very appealing flavor if you get it in your mouth. So just be careful. That's looking good. All right. Biggie Paul's first GBWC Space Rat. You can totally win. No one in the USA got anything for you. They can't handle you. Wow. Space Rat 53. I'm not expecting much. Just get myself out there and want to say there are Gunpla builders here in the state of New Mexico. Awesome. Julie Stemsky, what did you use to get the oil coating off the 1, 2, 3 blocks? I just got some with the holes. Great question. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3 blocks come basically wrapped in this like tissue paper kind of material, and then there is a layer of grease all over the blocks to help it avoid rust in transit. Best thing that I can say is the like cleaning wipes, the Lysol wipes, or like you can get them in Walmart or virtually any grocery store here in the U.S. Those wipes with the cleaning solution works wonders. Great. Wipe done, and they're clean as anything. After that, maybe some alcohol, just to kind of cut through that grease. And then beyond that, since they are raw steel, they're not like protected or anything, so you want to be careful of water. You can use some water, maybe some dish soap in with it, but make sure you dry them off very quickly afterwards, because they will tend to rust a little bit, kind of like the ones with the holes here. I actually left these in, not even thinking about it. I actually left these in a bit of water, and they started to oxidize inside drilled out holes and everything, but the outside obviously is perfectly fine. So that's all I needed those for. Not a huge deal, but these big ones, you definitely want to you know, be careful with you know, water and stuff like that. But yeah, if you have those cleaning wipes, those work amazingly well. Amazingly well. After that, you know, some paper towels and some alcohol should do the trick. And ooh, look at that shine. Ooh, look at that. And beyond that, just maybe some dish soap. So that should take all that grease off of there and make it pretty nice. So good question. Scuffle's with us. He says, evening, people. Good evening, Scuffle. Okay. Just working to get this thing even here. Biggie Paws. Good to hear. First, that there is a New Mexico. Second, love when communities show up. Now show out, give them hell. Nice. Sharknado warning in Philly. Nice. Sharknado. Sweet. Okay, back. What are we working on? Still working on the base here, Dean. We switched from the actual base to the support arm. Filled in this little section here because there was an unevenness with super glue and baby powder, which is basically very fine cornstarch. So we're basically just kind of grinding this down and making these two parts nice and even. So that's what we're doing. Scuffle, is that cornstarch super glue resin? Yes, yes it is. It is baby powder and super glue. That's all it is. It's very, very simple stuff. Very, very simple stuff. And it works great. It works really, really good. So we're just trying to feather this out here and make these two parts nice and even, which is not exactly that easy here because for some strange reason they were nice and even before I laminated the plastic on here, but once I did that, there's like a half millimeter gap between the surface of the lower support arm and the top support arm. So that's why I had to fill it in with this baby powder super glue concoction. But it's starting to feather down really nicely. And this is going to be good to go here in the next few minutes, at least this surface. We have to do the same thing to this beveled surface over here. But if it handles, if this bevel handles like it does here on this surface, man, we'll be in good shape here. Excuse me. Okay, I think it's time for the sanding block. Oh yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. We're getting there. That's like dead ass flat right here. Little indentations down at the bottom, but that's not a big deal because we can fill that in with straight super glue after the fact. Let's do a little bit more with the file. I think the reason why there was a gap is because there's a high point right here on this side of the bottom support arm. Because the sanding block, there's a high point right in here. So I think that's why there was an unevenness. That looks to be about where we need it. That looks good. Let's just do some light sanding here with a little bit of paper. Nice. Nice! All right. Now, the big test is to check it for square. Let's see if we kept it square here. You guys, that is dead ass square. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Let's get the big L out here. Yes, look at that. That is just square as square can be. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. That's what I like. All right, so now what we have to do is get this corner ground down here too. But let's see. Scuffle, I used to do that trick when I accidentally put a huge gouge in a kit. It just takes a while to file. Yeah, you know, I like the density of this stuff. It's a little, I guess, brittle, but man, the density of it is just so nice. It's right about the same as this plastic, which is ideal because, you know, having to file, sand, glue down, all that good stuff, it's good to have similar densities, right? So that's the reason why I like this stuff. But it does kind of make a mess with the dust, so let's vacuum it up. Voila! Here we go. All right. Scuffle says maybe the MDF picked up some moisture at some point. You know, I don't think so, because when I have when I take this off, the underside of this is not finished. It is just the raw MDF. I didn't see any moisture signs or anything like that, and it didn't look swollen. But yeah, I mean, you never know. You know, it could have been like sweat from a drink that I had lying next to it, for all I know. That's a possibility. So who knows? But it's just dead ass flat now. Whoo, baby! Look at that. Ooh, you guys can't see this, but I can see this. That's nice. Flat. Finito. Guns and Gunpla over there on Twitch. He says, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been building models? That is the question. That is the question. I started in 2001. So what is that? 17 years now. Actually, was it 2000? Might have been 2000. So it might have been 18 years. So. Arik45, I'm back from paying internet rent. Nice. That's a That's wood, right? Or plow plate? Great question. Actually, a bit of both. So let me show you just real quick what we are working with here. MDF is it's called medium density fiberboard. It might just be referred to as fiberboard, you know, in other places, but it's you know, we just call it MDF here. So most of the structure is MDF, the core is MDF, and then laminated with plastic around. So that's basically all that this is. And then everything's held together with screws and these threaded inserts. So, good question. Good question. Guns and Gunpla, 17 years. Wow, I'm just about to hit 1. Nice. Well, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Everybody's a newbie at some point. I mean, hell, I was a newbie back then. Didn't know squat about modeling. But, you know, as your experience increases, so will your quality of work. So, there we go. Oh, Scalpel says, you ever consider using foam floor mats like cosplayers do, and then plate that with styrene? You know, the foam probably wouldn't have the rigidity that I would need. Obviously, since MDF is extremely stable, since it's just basically, you know, wood pulp fibers and like a resin binder, it's extremely stable, right? The foam would be semi-flexible. So I'm not necessarily going to take a chance with something like that. And then plus two, I would be concerned about how to laminate the plastic over that foam. Probably contact cement, like barge or something like that cosplayers use. But again, I just like this method so much just because I do like the big, beefy, you know, bases that I'm able to create from this. And mind you, you don't have to use 1 inch, you know, or 3/4 inch MDF. You can use 1/4 inch MDF, 1/2 inch, whatever you want. But it's just so stable and rigid and so nice to work with because it shapes really, really well. That's just kind of my preference. So, but good question. Good question. Bailey says, speaker boxes and some custom car interiors are made using MDF. Yes. Yes. Kenneth Sim, probably moisture? Perhaps. Guns and Gunpla. Everyone is super friendly in the Gunpla community too. My partner collects Asian ball-jointed dolls, resin ones, and they are super mean. Oh, the people in the doll community are super mean? Wow. It's kind of fucked up to hear in the doll community. I mean, you would think, you know, dolls, right? Hey, come on, let's go collect dolls and be friends. But damn, they're super mean. That's, I mean, I'm shocked at that, quite frankly. That's crazy, right? Crazy, yeah. Space Rad, did you start with Gunpla or some sort of other model kits? I am 100% a Gunpla modeler. I started with Gunpla. I started with my very first models I got back in 2000, 2001, sometime around there. Let's go back to one camera. Kind of finish this up because it's getting late. But I started right around then with when Gundam Wing came out. Let me take these damn gloves off because these are nasty. So my very first models were a 144 Mercurius and V8. And you know, you guys, if you guys have any knowledge of those particular models, you know how bad they were, right? And me not knowing anything about modeling at the time, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to make them look good. Didn't know about glue or paint or anything like that. I just thought they were cool out of the box. But then, obviously, you know, you start to research these things online. You look up other people doing other cool things, and then it just kind of took off from there. So, now I started with Gunpla, and I have never deviated from that path. Now, mind you, I probably should. I've got the, what is it, the Smoothette tank or whatever that is over there, the hard graph one. And then I've got also the hover tank over there wanting to be built as well. And I've got some other kits up top there too. Hey, Ricky Paul Carlson, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Welcome officially to the family. Nice. But yeah, no, I just do Gundam. Just Gundam. That's it. Gunsa Gunpla, dude. Yeah, the doll community. Whew, crazy. Scuffle. You can use barge or super glue to attach the styrene to the foam. Check out Punished Props on YouTube. He makes tons of really detailed things. Yes, I actually follow Punished Props. What is it, Chinbeard or whatever he goes by. I actually do follow him. He's a good dude. Basically, I follow him everywhere too. Really good stuff. Gunsagumpo on Twitch. If someone has a cool technique, they guard it and monetize it. There's no sharing or helping to build everyone up. Wow, on the doll thing? That's crazy. I mean, you know, there is that old saying from The Dark Knight, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So, I mean, I can't blame people if they have some sort of original idea. But it does kind of put a little bit of a hamper on it. So, you know, pros and cons. Pros and cons. But, you know, if people are dicks in the doll community, man, what hope is there for humanity? Crazy. Arik 45, that's like 2000. Yeah, 2000. Bailey, the wing kits for some reason were worse than the F91 kits that came out years before. Yes, they were. They were terrible. Biggie Paws, the no grades. Yes, they were no grades. They were just terrible grades. That's what they should have been called. Like straight polycap joints, like no covers or anything. Just bad. Just, yeah, terrible. Ken Sim, Gundam X series probably had better builds than Wing that year. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Bailey, yeah, the 144 wing kits were no grades. The 100s were high grades, and then all the Endless Waltz kits were high grades too, if we could even call them that, because they even had just polycap, straight polycap joints. That were bad, man. Just very bad. Scuffle says, Tim, you have any future plans for after the Jesta? I think it's time for a Tequila Gundam to come out of your forge. No Tequila Gundam for me. No, I think what we're going to do is to continue on with GM Spartan, and then also start on the video tutorial series, the build-up for that. 144 Gundam, just a OG RX-78 Gundam. So what we're going to be doing is making the tutorial series that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time, and go through step-by-step building that, and showing every single technique, not skipping a beat. Those are going to be just straight videos, not live streams, videos. So that'll start hopefully end of this year, beginning of next year. So that's basically what we've got kind of on the menu right after the Jesta. After that, then I've got to think about some time to start my 2019 GBWC entry. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but we'll see, right? Bailey says, well, X came out after, but for the old F91 kits to be better. What's the excuse there? I know, right? Angel De La Cruz, what's going on, Angel? Thanks for watching. He says, that's how I got my start, too. Damn, we started right around the same time. Bailey says, same here. I started around 2002. Biggie Pauls, I got V8, just found it. Wow, looks so bad. Nice. Eric 45, F91 back then is still good to today's standard. Yeah, those were actually pretty decent kits. The 1/100s anyways. The, what was it? The Silhouette, Silhouette Formula. Those kits were awesome. I loved those kits. But yeah, I started the real, I guess, kind of hardcore. The next steps that I got in were kind of F91 kits because I got a Hardy gun and I got the G cannon and stuff like that. So yeah, those were surprisingly well-made kits, and I would love to rebuild some of those. Not in the same vein as the Blue Destiny, but just get a new kit and kind of build it up from there. I think it would be really cool, but you never know. Let's see, where did I leave off? Biggie Falls, 144. Whoa, you don't build small unless it's a bear guy. Yeah. Well, I didn't know anything back then. I didn't know scale. I didn't know what the scales were. I thought 144 being a bigger number meant that the size of the things were bigger. I had no clue. Scuffle says, GBWC 2019, how about do a bash of Gundam with another franchise, like maybe G.I. Joe or He-Man or something? Nah, that would get me disqualified because that would be a violation of the IP rule. So, intellectual property rule. So, can't do that. But, and I'm not really one to mix genres. It's just not my style. But I've got some ideas floating around in my head for 2019. I've talked about artstation.com in the past. Really great conceptual art website that I go to a lot. They even have an app for your phone. You can actually browse through favorites, save different pieces of art to refer to later. Great website. If you guys don't know about it, I highly suggest it to get, kind of brainstorming ideas and some inspiration and stuff like that. Oh, it's worth its weight in gold. And so artstation.com, so good. I know they have an iPhone app. I'm not sure if they have an Android app, but I would imagine so. But yeah, download it, visit it, scroll through it, be crazy about it. It's an awesome site. Pure professionals in the concept art world post their stuff on there. Amazing. So I go there a lot, and I just save photo after photo after photo, in my favorites and everything. And man, it's just, there's a lot of good ideas on there, and I've got some things kind of bouncing around in my head. So we'll see. Biggie Paul's, my kid got an idea for 2019 if you're man enough. Just kidding. Not that idea. Nah, I'm being serious with this one. So, hope to go back to Japan next year. We'll see. We'll see. Competition's getting tight in the U.S. So, who knows? Bailey, yeah, the Silhouette Formula kits are awesome with the system injection and everything. Yeah, they were great. Eric 45, do a diorama. Dioramas aren't really my style. I like focusing on one kit and building a display around that kit, right? So, you know what? And I'm not great at doing dioramas, so I'm gonna stick to what I'm good at, So, Kenneth Sim, GBWC 2019 Operation Dropship Zaku style. Interesting. I've never done a Zaku actually. Might be time for that. We'll have to see. Biggie Paul's Gustav Karl build. Only if they make an RE or Master Grade out of it. So the 144 is just not going to cut it. Nope. Space Rat 53. My first kits were in the early 2000s. I really got into Gunpla in 2015 with my first Master Grade, the Nemo. Good kit. That I got from a local video game convention. Raffle that I did some snow weathering on it. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the Nemo is a pretty decent kit from what I understand. A little bit of an older kit, but not too old. Still had some good technology and some gimmicks in there. So I'd say that's probably a good place to start. My first Master Grade was it was a Gundam. It was a, what was it? It was a Mark II. It was the first generation Mark II Master Grade. Totally screwed it up. Scrap. Just totally screwed it up. I didn't know how to fix it. I tried some weird shit with it, and I just messed it up. It didn't go over well. So scrapped that, and then moved on. I think my second one. What was it? I think my second one was a GPO1 Master Grade. Scrapped that too. So I've scrapped a bunch of Master Grades in my time. But what are you gonna do? Bailey says mine was Ground Gundam from Toys R Us in Puerto Rico. Nice. Hey, Ground Gundams are just amazing. Those Master Grades, so nice. Still, even today, like, and that's what boggles my mind. Like the Ground Gundam Master Grade, the EZ8, and the Ground GM. Those were all released back early 2000s. Excuse me, early to mid 2000s, I'd say. And even today, even by today's Master Grade standards, they're still, even still, amazing kits. Amazingly solid, great gimmicks, wonderful detail, proportions are spot on. I mean, there's only a few things that you would really be interested in fixing in that kit, in those kits, those lines of kits. Maybe the feet, maybe slimming those down. Yeah, they're good. They're good kits. Good kits. Let's see. Space Rat 53, to make it look like the box art that I entered a contest at a store in El Paso, Texas, that donated the kit to the convention and won a Master Grade Astray Blue Frame 2nd L. Nice. Bailey says, along with a ton of wing kits and HGUCs when HGUC first came out. I think everybody started with some HGUCs and stuff, man. It was crazy. Eric 45, why do you have double kits? Great question. So I have 2 Sazabis back there, and then I have 2 of the, what is that? The GN arms. So, great question. The GN arms, I got, number one, I got all of these on a really good deal. So that's why I bought doubles. These are a bit hard to get here in the States. So I bought both of these, I think, for maybe, I think about 30 bucks a piece on Amazon. And I use these specifically for kit bashing and parts and stuff like that. Those are the only reason I bought those. I wasn't going to build them. I bought those specifically for parts. I used parts of those in the Ozymandias on the backpack extensively. The Sazabis, on the other hand, I got an amazing deal. Amazing deal. Thing of legend, really. So, back several years ago, after the Sazabi just came out, I think it was a year after or so the Sazabi was out, Amazon had that, sometimes they have these crazy deals that I think the company messed up or something like that. $52 a piece. $52. So for those of you playing at home and not familiar with U.S. conversion rates, you're basically getting 2 Sazabis for the price of 1. Yeah. Yeah. So, I couldn't pass that up. I bought 2. So, that's why I have 2 Sazabi Master Grade Verkaz back there. So, good question, though. Good question. Bailey says, yeah, the 8th MS don't need 2.0s. The 0080, 0083 need 2.0s. Man, yeah. Yeah. The Alex definitely needs a 2.0 Master Grade upgrade. That kit was terrible. Ugh. So bad. What else? The 0083s. You could probably make a case for those. Yeah, needing a 2.0s, especially the GPO1. The GPO1 is definitely aged. I have not built the GPO2 myself. I have not gotten my hands on that, so I can't say per se if that needs a 2.0. But some of the later ones, like the Zaku F2 that came out and stuff like that, those were, I think those were solid kits. But I think the core, the GP series, I think probably would deserve a 2.0 treatment rather well. The Camphor, I don't know. I mean, I think the Camphor was decent. It's aged, definitely, but it's still kind of decent. So, you never know. Excuse me. Let's see. Ken and Sim at 50% off. Man, yeah, I know, right? I couldn't pass that up. That was only at that price for maybe like a half hour. Like somebody posted it on Reddit, and I saw it like a minute or two after they posted it, and I jumped right on it and I bought two. I just like, screw it, I'm buying two. So yeah, I had to jump at that. That was too good of a price to pass up. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Let's see. Scuffle says, I have 10 Grimgirds just for the frame for full customs, dirt cheap. Nice. The Grimgirds are great. They are really, really good kits. Bailey, yeah, Suzabi Verka average about $80 to $90. Yeah, here in the States. Yep. Gunsa Gunpla over there on Twitch. Oh man, did you see the Infinite Dimension Alex? I had never heard of the suit before I saw that, and now I'm in love. You know what? I have seen the Infinite Dimension Alex. I love it. The only part that I'm not a fan of are the feet. The feet are either too small or the lower legs are too flared out, because it makes the feet look really small, and not in a kind of a brush it off, that's not a big deal kind of way, like in a major that looks really bad sort of way. So I love every single other detail about the Infinite Dimension other than the feet. The feet are just bad, really bad. Eric 45, you know what needs upgrades ASAP? All GP series. Yeah. We were just talking about that. The only kind of good from GP is GP04, which is 1/100. Yeah, but it was the RE and it just came out a few years ago. So yeah, that one I probably wouldn't necessarily say needs a 2.0 at this point. Kenneth Sim, just hope Bandai will release a real grade for the GPO2. That would be interesting, right? Bailey says, from what I understand, the GPO3 is not a bad kit. Yeah, the GPO3 wasn't terrible. The joints are super, super tight on it, though. Like, insanely tight. Like, you'll break them because they're that tight. So you need to drill them out a little bit. So I used to have that kit. And, yeah, it's very, very tight joints. Like, insanely. Let's see. Scuffle says, you know what needs Master Grade 1.0? G Self. Say what you will about the series, they had some interesting designs. You know, I was a very, very big naysayer about the G Self when it first came out. I didn't think it looked like a Gundam. I still don't think it looks like a Gundam. But there is somewhat of an appeal to that suit, to that design. I would like to see a master grade of the G-Self so I could customize it and make it kind of what I would have liked to seen the G-Self look like. I think that would be badass, right? Basically reimagine the G-Self. I think it would be cool. Space Rat 53, I say the master grade Goof Custom could use a 2.0 so it can pose with a Gatling shield. Yeah, there's a... You know, it's a good kit. The joints are a little problematic, and the fact that it can't hold up the Gatling shield on its own accord could definitely be an argument for the for 2.0, but I don't know, maybe. Bailey says, nah, the Goof Custom is a good kit. It's decent. It's decent. It has flaws, but it's decent, yeah. Kenneth Sim, problem with Goof Custom, the arms drop off easily. Yeah. The jointing system is not great on that kit. Excuse me. Not necessarily terrible, just not that great. Space Rat 53, how can you strengthen the arm to hold it up? Paint the inside of the joints, make the joint, the pivoting joints tighter. I can't even remember. Are those poly? I think they might be polycaps in there. You may have to do something else. I don't know. Maybe fix pose it. Scuffle. Urethra? Or Eureka? I don't know. You need to make a 1/100 custom scratch build skeleton wearing the Gundam helmet full body kit to match the design you have on one of your shirts. That would be interesting, right? I think Win kind of beat me to that, though. I don't know. Want a really tight joint, use a little Flex Seal. Damn. There are screws in that. Okay, thank you, Bailey. It's been a while since I built that. Well, been a long time since I built that kit, like years. It's actually sitting over there, right down here in these boxes over here. So, cheers to 2.0. Ay, ay, ay. Whoo, you guys. Eric 45 used tissue and super glue. Yeah, no, tissue and super glue. Yeah, that would definitely work. The tissue would basically be your, it's almost like, tissue and super glue is almost like a small scale version of, what is it? Fleece with resin, like a fiberglass almost. So, yeah, good call. Eric 45, Dem's Korean glue are deadly but useful. Yeah, like fiberglass. Yep. So, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Whoa, 12:17. We went decently long tonight. Good Friday stream. I think we got a lot done. Well, not a lot in terms of variety, but a lot in terms of amount of work. So, good stuff there. So, when we meet next time, I will be 30 to 35 hours deeper into this base, and it should hopefully look significantly different from what you've seen tonight. Rather than this just bare bones plastic laminated thing, should have some details and stuff like that come Monday. We'll see. We'll see. GizmoCon Gunpla, Tim, those Gundam guys starting stream, so if everyone wants to jump over to that stream, should be starting soon. Nice. Might have to do that. Might have to do that. So guys, yeah, once we finish up, should be Clem, Freddy, and Angel. Nice. So yeah, so guys, once we finish up here, jump over to those Gundam guys on YouTube and watch those guys, because those guys are entertaining. So we'll see. I might go take a break and then come back and watch those guys. I don't know what I'm going to do. So, but, all right, boys. So, until next time, if you want a super sweet Amuro t-shirt like this, go click on the store on chadamecha.com. Excuse me. Chadamecha.com, hit the store button at the top. You will see shirts, you will see hats, you will see bags, all sorts of cool stuff in there. If you're interested in any of the tools that we used here, hit the little Amazon link just below on YouTube, over here on Facebook. And SCGMC is November 10th, 1 week from tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys there. But hopefully I'll see you on Monday when we rejoin. Alright? Alright, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Build something cool. We'll see you on Monday. See you guys.